Hi, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how Barcelona is continuing to find it difficult to score goals. But before we get into the video, please do subscribe to the channel, and you can also find my socials down in the description box. Let's start off with the build-up phase, because I think this is truly where it hurts Barcelona, because I truly feel that our build-up phase is very static. That's why we cannot alter the press of the opposition. But let me know down in the comment section, what do you think as well? Why it is that Barcelona is finding it difficult to score at the moment. Let's start with the video. For me personally, it's very frustrating because Ter Stegen is the initiator of all Barcelona's play usually. When teams do press high, it's a thing of him having to play the ball to the centre backs. But what happens if the centre backs can be pressed? Teams now know that if they have the centre backs, then Ter Stegen would have to go forward. And these players can now press the fullback as well if the ball goes to the fullback. This causes Xavi and Sergio Busquets to drop, which means ultimately that allows teams to come up with as well, meaning they bring out their line. And now these days without Dembele, a high line is good for teams because there's nobody that's able to run in behind the defense. If they do find Rafinha, they usually gang up on him. So what can Barcelona do to alter this? They need to find a way to let the centre backs do all the work, maybe split with the back three. So if they can be pressed and they have the ball, Ter Stegen is an option as well, which they can play the ball around with. But now because Ter Stegen is the one that plays the ball, teams can now easily just find a way to put pressure on the centre backs, meaning Ter Stegen now has to go long. On the more rarer occasions where Ter Stegen would be deeper than his centre-backs, teams are now pressing our centre-backs in order to force them to go backward. Sergio Busquets is not an option anymore because the opposition are sitting down on him. And this is what I hate about Xavi's inconsistencies. Normally when Frenkie de Jong would play, he would have a double pivot over there, but for some reason Sergio Roberto stayed higher in this game. Now this means that the fullbacks are now the only options, but the opposition has a winger wide on one of them, meaning they have to go over to the one side. This is predictable because this midfielder can spring out now, where the centre-back could cover Xavi now. Robert Lewandowski doesn't have a lot of speed, meaning a ball in behind can be good defended by the opposition. Now that means that Barcelona now has to again drop in behind or come closer to the ball. And this just brings out the opposition even more. This is what I mean about inconsistency in your tactics. And that is something not good about Xavi. Has been great this season, but that is simply just not good enough for a Barcelona squad. And the circulation of the ball is way too slow. We never alter or affect the pressing shape of our opponents. We just simply string the ball along. Back in the day, in the Xavi era and the Pep Guardiola era, these balls were flying on the grass. They were cutting grass every game. But now, it's just a simple routine trying to affect the opposition's game and the opposition's ball. But other than that, no pressing shape is altered. Xavi is so obsessed with having a normal back four, single pivot, 2-3-8 wingers and a number 9. Normal positional play. But this does not work if we pass around the ball so slowly, because in this positioning the likes of Xavi and Sergio Busquets anyway has to drop into these regions right here where they can receive the ball to allow these guys to go forward. But again, against the bigger teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona play with a back three. This now allow them to have these balls right here in these positions already. This leaves Xavi forward, meaning that these players need to be very careful when they press because Xavi could receive the ball in the region right there. Now let's say that Xavi himself is now dropping into the positioning over here. Who would be receiving the ball there? Rafinha, where Jules Koundé go forward? Jules Koundé is not a natural right back that can whoop in crosses right here. He's more of a defensive player. And you don't want Xavi in these regions right here because he's a number 10. You need to have the center back in the position right here in order to be able to be a back three. This is why it's not important to have a double pivot, because this allows Fati to invert and then Alejandro Balde go forward. This is how Pep Guardiola just last night destroyed Bayern Munich, because he had this midfield box in this region right here. But now Barcelona wants to build up with their people all in their positions. And this does not work, because Barcelona is not as good as the Barcelona in the 2009-2010 season up until 2012. The question now remains, how do we improve our build-up phase? Here's some ideas that I have. Take a look at it and let me know in the comments what you think. This is how my team would build up, and I just want to let you guys know this is simply just my ideas. I would have Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé be split in as the center backs. Then I would use Ronald Araujo and Sergio Busquets as the pivots. This is not necessarily some tactic, but this is just to, if teams want to press a double pivot, Barcelona would still have 3 men backwards. If they do want to out and out press the center backs along with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, then there would be easily people that can receive the ball, and then Barcelona then would still have 2 men forward. Now one of them can actually drop deeper in order to be a third man and to have a numerical advantage over here, while Ansu Fati can come into the region right here and Alejandro Balde can go forward. Now it will be up to this player to be able to come central, and even if he does come central, Barcelona would still have 3 men, where actually Barcelona will have 5 men central in these areas right here. And with this you can easily pull a team to one side, and they all have to come. While in the half spaces you would still have 2 men that can be actually totally disastrous. This would allow our free eights now to go a lot more higher in order to be able to pull these guys to one side. This now would actually have these guys go backward to defend, because they would not be able to sustain this kind of pressure, where Koundé could go over. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on one side, while at the same time you have 3 and 4 men on this side of the pitch. And however, your backline is going to be totally nuts, but this is how you can actually alter the opposition's play and actually have confidence in your players in the build-up phase. And that is what I would do as a manager. We have reached the end of our video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for the loyal viewers who have been subscribing. And those of you guys who haven't been subscribing, please do subscribe to the channel, as it would help us a lot. You can also follow my socials, my TikTok and my Facebook, where I will be dropping all the videos and more content over there, and also some shorts over here on YouTube, and also a full-length video. I do want to thank each and every one of you guys. As I said, as always, Visca el Barça, viva de Catalunya. Adios.